Ladies, how many of you are wearing the wrong size bra right now? Well, there was a survey done and apparently 80% of us aren't wearing the correct bra. From those 80%, 70% are wearing bras that are far too small and 10% are wearing bras that are too big. Now, I've been trying to find that perfect company that fits my ladies perfectly, but you know, I get a bra and it seems to fit on the day one and everything like that, and then it just doesn't. After a little while it just doesn't. Bras go bad.
But the bra will go bad. All bras go bad.
But am I actually wearing the right size? Well, I decided to make my own. So for today's video, that is exactly what we're going to do. Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sewing Stash. My name's Jodie. Today's video is going to be making my very own over the shoulder boulder holder, up top flopper stopper, whatever you want to call it, but most people know it as a bra. So I have never made my own lingerie ever at all, so this is going to be like a new adventure for me and I'm really excited. I trawled the internet looking for patterns and I found a company called Erin. So she has a few patterns out with bras and she does have one that actually has underwiring, which is what I was looking for. And I decided I'm going to give one of her kits a go. So I ordered the package a couple of weeks ago and I haven't opened it and I'm really excited, but I really wanted to wait for this video to open it. It's a company from Canada, I believe, but the sizes are based on like UK standard sizes. So in this kit you get everything you need to make your bra, like all the materials and stuff, if you order her bra kit, and you also get the PDF pattern that you can print off. So I've already gone ahead and found my bra size based on her pattern, so I will go through that with you. But without further ado, let's open up this package that I've been waiting to open and see what we get inside the kit. First off, let's start with the pattern that you get when you purchase the underwire one from Erin, and it's called the Black Beauty Bra. Now I chose the PDF E to G, but she does do the PDF A to D, so you can get them as two separate PDFs and you don't have to have a huge one for all the different sizes. Now this comes with two options. It comes with option A, which is a double strap there, and it comes with option B, which is a single strap and some lace over the top. Now I think for the extra support I'm going to go with option A. I also like how it's got the extra support here, which I think is going to help support the ladies and give them a boost. Now when it came to sizing I was a little bit confused, so I'll show you why. So to get your measurement you need to take your band size, which in my case is 38, and then you need to take your apex size to work out your cup size, and in my case that's 46. So that made me a 36 back, or if I went up I would have been a 48, which would have been too big. I was really confused about this, so I contacted Erin from Erin, and she told me to go by this size here. So you take your band size again, so in my case it's 38, and then your cup size, which in my case is 46, and there is an 8-inch difference. So I actually work out to be a double F in the cup size. So what I'm going to do is cut out a 38 double F, and she assures me that this is the correct size, which was really helpful, so thank you for that, Erin. So that's the pattern that we get. So in the package that I haven't opened, got this lovely thank you card, and it says you're going to make something awesome. So that's her card there that she gives. That was just the pricing. So if anyone wants to know how much this cost in total, so the actual bra making kit when I brought it was £23.65 and the PDF was £12.69, which I think is really reasonable for your pattern and all your bra kit. So this is the kit that came, and as you can see I haven't opened it. So let's open it right now. Oh, don't want to ruin it. Exciting. Ooh. So, inside the kit, we'll start with the fashion fabric. It says, don't worry about cutting on the grain of the bead twirl because of the super stable lining. I recommend cutting the bee twirl in whatever way makes the bee shine the most. So that's that. So what we have here is, I chose this gorgeous bumblebee fabric here. It's got all these pretty bees on it. I thought it was really, really cute. Let me try and show you that. So that's the outer fashion fabric. We then have this fabric, which I'm not sure if that's the back of the band. I think that's because of the width of it, I think that's the band for the actual back of the bra. Then we have this fabric here, which I think might be the lining. Then we also have our cups here, like that, and mine is a 48 orange based on the measurements of my bra that I gave her when I ordered it. And then in here we have some elastic. I believe that's the elastic that folds over and goes over the top. We have some more elastic. This is thicker, so I believe this is the elastic that goes against your skin because it's nice and soft. We then have what I would assume is going to be the strap elastic. I don't know if that's going to be at the bottom or over the shoulders. Oh no, this looks like this is the actual strap elastic for the shoulders. I think because this is softer, this will be what goes against your skin. And then this looks like it's going to be the strap elastic. I appreciate it's probably difficult to see all this, considering it just looks like different size elastic. We also have some ribbon. Nice satin ribbon. And then in here we have, we have the back of the bra. I like that. It's got 3 clips. For us bigger busted ladies, we like the thicker band. And then we have the rings for our straps there. So Emerald Erin actually does give a little card about the different types of elastic and what they're for. So we've got our fold over elastic, we have our strap elastic, we have our channeling, and we have our twill tape, and we have our plush elastic. So I can actually use this card to work out what elastic I need for what part of the bra, which is absolutely fantastic, especially as a beginner. I've never done this before, so I can't tell the difference, but she gives the actual scale of the elastic. Let me zoom in so you can see that, and what types they are. So thank you again, that is absolutely amazing. I have my pattern pieces laid out on the lining and on the back band. What I've done differently to what the pattern suggests, so this is the lining portion, and it just tells you to cut out these 3 pieces. These darker ones are a mirror image, and I've decided to cut out the cup as well because of that little note that I showed you at the beginning we got that said about the tool not worrying about which direction to cut the tool because it will be lined with a really sturdy lining. But the pattern instructions don't actually ask you to cut out the lining for the actual breast cup. So I'm just going to do that. I want it lined anyway. I do want a lined bra. I don't want tool rubbing against, you know, sensitive areas. So that's what I've done. I mean, tell me if any of you guys have made this, if you've done the same or if you've done something similar or different, maybe you guys added the foam cups and didn't need to do this step. But that's what I've decided to do. I could be really wrong. So I've just had to squeeze this on here. I have been a bit naughty as well, and I've folded the lining and the back waistband in half just to cut it out all in one. But when it comes to actually doing the bumblebee fabric here, I am going to make sure I cut that out in single layers. So I'm going to crack on with that now, and the next step will be getting started. My pattern pieces are now all cut out. I am going to go in and sew on a few extra bee appliques, as I've got a little gap here that I want to fill up. And I've also had to order some new thread on Amazon because I did not have enough. So I'm going to go and sew these bees on, and then tomorrow when the thread comes, we can start assembling this bad boy. Stitching is not my jam, but I have attached one applique bumblebee onto it very badly. You can see my thread there is very obvious. However, when it's placed onto its lining piece, you can't tell. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm gonna go on and put a few more on, dotted around, and then hopefully my thread will arrive tomorrow and we can get started. I went through all my other pattern pieces and realised that I didn't actually have to put any more bees onto it, so I was quite happy just to attach this one here, as it will be seen at the centre. Now I'm going around my pattern pieces and basting them, hand basting them with the last bit of black thread I have on this bobbin, and then I'm going to give them a little gentle press and they'll all be prepped for tomorrow. To mention about this pattern is the notches that you normally have in patterns to match up different parts of your pattern. The notch is actually down here and not at the top where it would be, where you'd normally cut it. So I didn't know if I was meant to cut it or not. So instead what I did was I've just basted my pieces together, and then I've just gone in with some chalk and marked them that way. Also, I found basting these pieces together now has really helped me, because now I know which side's the right side and which side's the wrong side. So that's what I did, and I hope that's helpful, just in case any of you guys were wondering whether to cut into it or not. Good morning. So it is actually 2 days later. I did do my Amazon order and the gods of Amazon provided. However, it didn't come till 4:30, so I didn't get a chance to start filming yesterday. Today is Friday and it's really horrible and rainy outside, so I'm trying my best with the lighting, but it might be a bit dark in places. So anyway, I have my thread now, which I'm really happy about, and thankfully I actually do have the needles. So when I was looking at the instructions, it tells you need a stretch needle size 11, and I panicked because I was pretty sure that I did not have such a small needle. However, clearly past Jodie thought about this beforehand and purchased some. So I do actually have some stretch needles size 11 that they suggest to use for this. So that's all good to go. So obviously my first order of business is to thread the machine, get my needle in there. I'm going to do a practice stitch real quick on some of the leftovers, make sure that stitch is okay, and then we can have a look at putting these pieces together. I'm a little bit nervous, one, because I've never made a bra before, but two, my chalk markings are starting, I don't know if you can see that, are starting to wear off slightly. So I really hope that during this process that doesn't happen. But anyway, I just need to get on with it. So I'm going to thread the machine and then we'll look at the first instruction. Now the machine's all threaded and ready to go, the first step is to get our power bar piece, which is A, and it looks like that. We have to fold over the top and stitch that down with a straight stitch, and then we have to attach the fold over elastic on this curved edge here. So I'm going to do that step now, and I'll record it for you so you can see what I'm doing. Now I have the very top of the power bar sewn down. You can just about see that. We now have to take the wrong side of the power bar and attach the right side of this fold in half elastic. Now I think the right side is the soft side because the other side is rough. So I'm going to double check that before I do, but then what happens is this gets stitched, oh, if I can show you, all along there. And it goes all the way around. Doesn't really help that I'm wearing black, does it? But yeah, it goes all the way around the curve there. So I'm going to do that now. Once you have pinned it all together, it will look something like this. I had to do it the opposite way so I could make sure that I was lining the curve up right up to the fold line of the elastic. But that's where I've got to now. It also tells you to leave 10 inches of tail afterwards as well. So I've done that. So now I'm going to zigzag stitch this down really carefully and move on to the next step. I have got both of my power bars in now, and it transpires this is not ribbon. This is actually twill tape. So I was reading the instructions, and what it says to do is to get your power bar, and for extra support put a line of this twill tape down the, I think inside, yeah, the inside of your strap to give it more support. So I'm gonna do that with this one. I think it's an optional step, I'm not 100% sure. It says this will reduce the stretch in your front bra strap for more stability and support. Now I definitely like a lot of stability and support for my girls, so I'm gonna do this step. It's not really gonna be that clear to see because it's black on black and it just kind of merges, but I'll do my best to show you what I'm doing. And then after that I think we fold it over like that, and it's already starting to look really pretty and neat, and it's a little bit fiddly, but I'm actually really enjoying this process so far. Now I've got my stabilising piece that I've only connected to the bar there. What we have to do now is take this fold over elastic and fold it over, encasing the stabilising tape, and sew it down. So, and we have to do that all the way across the power bar as well. So I'm going to do that with both of those, and then we're going to see what the instructions have us do next. So my power bars are done and all stitched down quite nicely. I don't know if you can see that, it's quite hard black on black. So they're both done. So the next step now is to get the outer cradle, which looks like that. I do love how they name all their pattern pieces as well as put numbers on them so you can actually tell what you're looking at. And we need to attach it to the bridge, which reminds me of something of Star Trek.
Bridge.
The bridge. But yeah, we've got to attach this to this, I'm assuming like that, because then that makes a booby cup. Booby. Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna go and attach these. I'll film that for you, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. And then it looks like we also attach the side part there to there, I think, as well. So I'll do this step first, then I'll do the side bars, back band. I'm not quite sure what they call it. Back band, they call it back band, you know, just look. So I'll attach the back band after that. Okay, I've actually ran into my first issue. So the instructions tell you to get the cradle and attach it to the bridge, which I've pinned, so it looks something, oh, my bridge is a little bit suggestive, like that. But it doesn't tell me what seam allowance to use to stitch it. Like, I've gone through the whole pattern. I've even gone right back to the beginning, but it doesn't actually say what seam allowance I'm meant to be stitching these bits here. So I'm going to Google it, I think. I mean, someone somewhere's made this pattern. Well, loads of people have made this pattern actually. It's a really, really popular pattern. So what I'm going to do is have a quick Google, find out what stitch I'm meant to sew it down on. I'm quite confused because it's really specific about, you know, how many mils you're meant to be folding things down and stitching things to. But I don't know, I guess it just got missed in this step, which is fine, you know, we're all human. So I'm gonna Google that, I'm gonna work that out. I'll let you know when I find out, and then we can get this bad boy stitched down. Okay, a 30-second Google later, I found the answer. It's actually a 1/4 seam allowance from TaylorMade blog, and I don't know if you can see that, but she's actually working on the piece that I was looking at, so that was super helpful. So 1/4, I'm going to write that on the actual pattern instructions. It's probably just an oversight. Now I have the bridge sewn to the cradle like that. We have to press open the seams and top stitch them down, and then what we do is we attach the side bar, the elasticated one, to that. So I'm going to top stitch these, and then I'm going to attach this piece to that, which is the stretchy black material, and then I think we start assembling the cups. So yeah, so far this is coming together really quickly. I know you just saw me straight stitch a stretchy fabric, and I promise I'm not having a stroke. The instructions specifically tell you to straight stitch on the fabric. So I have, and I'm just going to trust the process. I am as baffled as some of you watching this will be. But we now have our bra assembled and top stitched as well down the top. I don't think you can see that. Oh, maybe just a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 2 halves, and this is the back band here. Trying to show the middle bit. No. Okay, so this is where we're up to now, and I believe we are now going to be working on, yeah, we're now going to be working on cup assembly. So I'm going to put this down. Just hit myself in the face with it apparently. I'm going to put this down and start working on the cups. So the next step is to match the upper cup, which is actually this peculiar looking pattern piece, to the lower cup here. And the instructions look like it goes that way. So it matches around like that. So I'm going to pin these together, stitch them in, and I think it says about top stitching as well. And then we start attaching these these bra cups to the actual power bar itself. So I actually told you wrong. This is the top part of the cup, and this straightish part here matches to the top part of the cup, and there's a little thing little notch, should I say, and then it curves round like so, rather than what I thought it did and go around the bottom. So that actually fits all the way around the top. So I'm going to pin this down now. I've already done one here, and then we'll stitch that down. My cups are all done, and what it has you do as well is top stitch the seam allowance towards the upper cup here. With this one was a bit more tricky because I have two bees that have decided to headbutt each other because obviously I wasn't paying attention to my seam allowance, which made the inside of this little bit quite bulky. I'm hoping it's not going to cause a problem later on, and some of my other bees are flying down there. So what I would say is give the in-between cups a bit of room, because otherwise if you have two bees headbutting each other like I did there, it makes it quite a thick, bulky seam to get past. Anyway, these are now done. My cups are, I think it goes like that. They're done. So now we need to get the power bars back out, which are here, and attach them to the cups. So just in case anyone is confused by this step, this is the top part of your bra, and you want that little curve there, and you get your power bar here, and then what you're doing is actually matching that curve with the bottom of that curve there, and then going round the bottom of it like that. And then what you should end up with is a gap like that, if that makes sense. And then this comes around at the bottom there. When I first looked at it, I was a little bit confused, and I was like, oh, duh. So just in case you're a visual learner like me, it goes around the bottom, but you match up the corner of those curves. My cups are now assembled with the power bar at the side. So now what we have to do is get our cradle, and we need to put that into that. So I'm going to pin it together and show you what I mean, because just doing that makes absolutely no sense. And then we'll stitch it down. So I did the first cup off camera, just to make sure that I got it right and to see how it turns out. And it goes together really well. In fact, this is probably the easiest curve I've ever done in my life. One of the great things about this pattern is you don't have to like force anything, like it does line up. You do need to take your time around the curve, and it can be a little bit tricky, but it tells you to do the right cup first. So I've done that, and now I'm going to do the left cup. So I will try and get some footage of that for you, but I was really impressed actually at how well this goes together. You don't have to force anything, you're not having to pull on seams and stuff to get them to line up. They line up straight out of the packet. So this pattern really does, it's drafted really well so far. I haven't had any issues with things not matching up, so I'm really impressed. So what we'll do then is we'll attach the left cup, and it tells you how to do it a different way. So for the right cup, you started from the outside and you went in to the center there. But for the left cup, you go the opposite way. So I'm going to follow the instructions, and I'll try and get as best footage as I can for you. It just might be a little bit tricky because I'm probably going to have my hands in the way, but we'll see. Now both cups are sewn in, this is where we are at now. The next step is to identify the plush elastic, I think it says, and that's going to go on the inside here, if you can see that there, to make the channels for the underwiring that's going to go in there. I'm going to have a cup of tea and get some lunch, and then I'm going to identify which bit of elastic that we need and start sewing that in. Right, now I'm fed and watered. The next step is to attach the channeling to the underneath of the bra with seam allowance. This card comes in real good handy for identifying the bits of elastic that you want, because it's actual scale, so you can compare your elastic to this. So I really found that quite useful. So what it says to do, and I haven't done it yet but I've started to, is you have your bra here, and then you have your seam allowance underneath, so you have to tuck everything else out of the way, and then you have to start attaching this channeling, which is really soft on one side and not on the other. It's quite difficult to see, but that's the rough side and that's the soft side, and we need to stitch that, moving the rest of the bra out of the way, all along that seam allowance as close as we can. But we're only doing the bit that's underneath the bust cup, not the other side yet. So I'm gonna go and pin this all around and then stitch that down, and then I think it's telling me to start using this other tape, which is called the picot tape, because I suppose it's got like little raised bumpy bits at the top, and then I've got to do something with that as well. Haven't quite got that far yet. So anyway, what I'm going to do for the moment is pin this all the way around underneath the actual cup, keeping the rest of the bra out of the way, and then stitch that down. So now I have the elastic attached inside to the seam allowance, which was a lot simpler than I thought. And I actually found the best method was to not use pins. So for the right cup, I actually used pins, and I had to unpick about 3 inches of it because it got a bit distorted because of the pins. So the second time I only pinned the first section to hold it down, like ½ inch, and then I sewn that, and then I just started going slowly and putting the elastic on top without any pins, and that went a lot smoother, and I found it a lot easier to do, which I was quite shocked about, because I am a pin girl. I like to pin things. I pin the hell out of things. But anyway, it is now done and all in place. I think you can just about make that out. So what I'm going to do now is, it says we need to get our picot elastic and attach that to the bottom of the bra, and see what they have us do next. I have now attached the elastic to the bottom of the bra. Now it says to trim down the seam allowance and then flip it over and top stitch it all around the bottom. So I'm going to do that now, and then I think we have to work a little bit on the top before we can insert the underwiring. But yeah, it's looking like a thing. It's actually taking shape and recognizable now. So I'm going to do the elastic and we'll move on to the next step. So I have have now flipped the elastic over and stitched it down. One thing that the instructions tell you to do is make sure that you don't, sorry, my neighbour's watching me. It's really awkward. Sorry, let me start again. Hi! My neighbour's putting up a fence next door and has just caught me talking to a camera. That's embarrassing. Anyway, as I was saying, oh my god, I've got a bra in my hand as well. Oh well, give the neighbour something to gossip about, I guess. So, as I was saying, elastic is stitched down, and you just need to make sure that you avoid sewing the channel that we put under the bust cups, but the instructions tell you to do that. So the next step is to take the tops down, the power bar tops down like that, and we need to work on the top edge of the bra, and we're going to be using our fold over elastic again, I'm assuming, to finish the raw edges on here. So I'm going to have a look at the instructions, which I probably should have done before I started recording, but it mentions about encasing the top edge with the raw elastic, so with the fold over elastic. Oh, I'm getting a bit flustered because I know the neighbour can see me. With the fold over elastic. So we'll do that, and then I think it's just going to be like insert the underwire and the straps in the back of it, and we're done. So quite excited. I'm hoping to get this finished today. If I don't, that's fine. It will be a quick job tomorrow, but let's crack on. Right, so now I'm a little bit less flustered. Can actually show you what I've done. So the pattern wants you to get the fold over elastic and find the center of that and then attach it to the middle of the bra. You've also got to make sure that you keep the channels for the wiring out of the way, so I've pinned them down. So what I've done is I've pinned this halfway into the elastic. We're gonna zigzag stitch that all the way around, fold it over, and then zigzag it again. I've left these bits really long. I don't know if they're gonna become part of the strap or not. I'm not sure whether to cut them or not, so I've left them. I'm sure I'll find out in the instructions. And yeah, we'll just get this sewn down and then see what the next step is. I can absolutely tell that I am getting really put off by my neighbour next door putting up a fence, because when I read the instructions I thought you had to find the centre of all of the elastic. No, you don't. You just line it up with the centre of the actual fold over bit there. So I've got all of this for absolutely no reason. So that is my cue, I think, to stop. So what I'm going to do before I do stop is I'm going to zigzag over the folded down part of the bra. So I've pinned all that down there. I'm going to zigzag that down, and then I'm going to stop for the rest of the day. I've clearly got a bit flustered, and the neighbour's still there, and it's put me off, and I've had no problems with this pattern so far, so I don't want to mess it up towards the end. So for the rest of today's footage anyway, you'll see me just zigzag this, and then we'll pick it up hopefully tomorrow and get this finished. So let's get this stitched down. Good morning. It is the next day and I have no neighbours outside doing any fencing, so that's a win. It has been many days later, but for you guys and the magic of video editing, it's moments later. But essentially, I kind of forgotten what I was doing. So I had to sit down for a little bit this morning and work that out. And what I've worked out is that we are now on to the binding for the top of the bra, which then also makes the strap there. It also gives you an option to put in some more twill tape to make the strap extra supportive. I don't know. But that's the option I'm going to go with. So I've pinned all of these down and I've pinned my twill tape in. So then we need to go in and zigzag this all down, fold it over like we did last time, and close the top of that and zigzag that down again. So I'm probably going to do that off camera, one, because it's really early, and two, you've already seen me do this for the top here. So I don't particularly think I need to repeat the footage. So I'm going to do that off camera and show you the end result, I guess. And then after that, I'm going to see where we are. We're really close to finishing this now. I think it's just like the really fiddly bits. I'm absolutely in love with how this is coming out and how neat it is, especially for my first attempt. So yes, we will do that. I'm going to finish my tea, crack on with that, and then we'll see how far we've got. I have put the binding all the way around the bra, and it also then goes and forms the second strap. I have also top stitched down the channeling where the underwire is going to sit. So we are super close to finishing now. All that needs to be done is to bar tack certain areas where there's going to be some tension, and up here, just obviously to stop the underwiring of the bra coming through. We then need to attach the hook and eye closures on the end, and then the bra strap at the back, and we are done. So I'm really excited. I'm about to have my first me-made bra. So I'm going to crack on with that now, and then bar tacks and underwiring inserted. It is now time to work on the strap. So we have our strap elastic here. This is going to be the back strap. We also have our little notions here that this strap is going to go through, and we also have our back clasp here that we are going to be attaching. So the first step is to assemble the strap. Get these sewn onto the actual bra. Make sure we have these on. Need to cut this to 10 inches. Then it's going to be to assemble the clasp, and then we are basically done. I am getting really excited now, so I'm going to go do this now, and I'm also probably just going to attach this as well, and then we will do the reveal. The straps are all made. Now I need to stitch these down like this. Then I believe we attach the clasp here and the straps as well. So I'm going to crack on with that now. So I have the wrong side of the bra facing upwards. It's now time to attach the hooks to this side and the eyes to the other. Then once we've done that, it's literally just the straps and this is done. So making sure that this hook part is on the right side, or the same side that you do your bra. I'm just going to pop that in there, stitch that down, do that with the other one, attach the straps, and then yeah, it is complete. I'm really excited.
Cadabra.
So I have been umming and ahhing for the past probably hour trying to find out a way of showing you this bra that isn't going to get me kicked off of YouTube. So the only way I could do that was wear a top underneath. So I'm going to show you what it looks like and give you my overall opinion. We're doing this upstairs in my bedroom again today because the neighbour is still outside doing the fence. And I definitely don't want to be in front of a camera wearing a bra outside of my t-shirt. So, excuse the lighting, we're upstairs. But here is the finished product. So I have to say straight off the bat, this is the most comfortable bra I've ever owned. The double straps are really nice and it is nice and comfortable. The only thing I will say is, I don't know if you can see, it does this weird thing where it pushes a lot of my breast tissue out to the side, and it's because the power bars that are here kind of digging a little bit to my bosom, which does obviously support the ladies and hold them up, but then I have like a bit of side boob, I suppose, going on in the back. So I think I need to make these power bars bigger. I'm not 100% sure, or need to add foam into it, but otherwise at the back it fits really nicely. It's really comfortable. It's obviously really difficult to see the fit because I'm having to wear a top underneath, but it is honestly, honest to God, it is the most comfortablest bra I have ever owned. I don't know how to do the pattern corrections that I'm going to need to do to get this to fit me properly. So if any of you guys have made this bra and you've had the same kind of issue where it just slightly pushes in to your boob and gives you that side boob, let me know what you did to resolve that. I was thinking I might need to put in some foam padding, or do I adjust the power bars and make them bigger, or do I do both? I'm not quite sure. But that's it really. I really enjoy this pattern. I definitely want to make more, but first I need to make the tweaks that I need to make for this pattern. So I'm going to have a look into that. But honestly, it is so comfortable, even as is. And it was actually really simple to make. So if you're like a confident beginner, you could definitely make this. But yes, I really enjoy this pattern and I definitely want to make some more. If you guys have any tips on how to make this fit me better, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't, please consider subscribing and like tap that little notification bell so that you get notifications when my videos are next out. But I think that's it from me, so I'll see you next time. Bye!